Hey, and welcome to the Country Club Growth Podcast. I am Brittany here with Meredith.
Hello, everybody.
If you're watching us on YouTube, hey.
Hey.
Hey, girl.
You guys should head over to our new YouTube channel and check us out if you want to see what we look like in real life.
In real life.
If you can't get enough of us.
If you can't. We in comfy clothes today.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's raining. It's a little bit miserable.
It is.
I need to talk to you guys about where I just was. Okay, so our show today, by the way, is about the ick.
Okay.
If you know what it is.
Okay.
It's a very serious thing that is hard to come back from. So we're going to be talking about the ick.
It is hard to come back from the ick. My husband incredibly does it constantly, but but it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
Okay.
Okay. But first, I want to tell you guys about my weekend. Okay. So, oh my gosh. I went to, you know how the trend now are these like markets that pop up where all these vendors come and you pay a fee to get into the market.
Oh yeah.
And then you can shop at all of these vendors. And there's some that like rock this.
Some rock it.
Some rock it.
Some don't plan well.
Others who came into the trend later.
Yeah.
And are trying to make it a thing. And it just kind of bombs.
I think it's because everyone's like, oh, they're making a lot of money at this. Like there's one locally called Finders Keeper that a bunch of people make money at. And they're like, I think I could do that. But
it's huge.
I think it's like a lot of fucking work. And like maybe.
Oh my gosh. Like I can't imagine the work.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. That is probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
And it is like super well pulled off. A couple weekends ago, we went to one in Michigan called Wicked Pickin'.
Yeah, I think I went to that last year.
One, and that's one I do go to every year. They have like witches that dance, and it's very Halloween themed, and that one's fun too.
Yep.
And so those are two that I hit up. There was another one that came into our area, and it's the Vintage Fest.
Okay, how was it?
Okay. So I will give them 5 stars on their marketing because they found me and targeted the shit out of me for like a month before this Vintage Festival.
Good.
Like I'm a big, I love thrifting and finding home items. I'm a big like home decor person. And so I was excited to go for that reason. My boys love to find like vintage clothing. They're very into that right now. So I thought this is perfect for us.
So you thought you might find like some antique-y type things.
100%. I thought I was going to find some really cool home stuff. Now going into it, I know I would much rather find this stuff myself at estate sales. I'm sure I'd get a much better price finding it myself. Probably. This is like stuff people have found and are now trying to resell, right? Yeah. I knew that going in that's what this was going to be, like already ahead of time. Okay. So it was like we have over 50 vendors, which sounded like a lot. And we're in the Glass City Center downtown, which is a large space. And I thought this is going to be great. It's $5.
Nice because it's indoor.
It is. It was indoor and it's $5 a person.
Not bad.
No. So I thought, okay. So woke up, hit the family text up like, yo, we're leaving in an hour. We're going to go to this thing. Andy found himself going, I knew he would not enjoy this. I already knew it. But
I'm looking at him right now.
I know.
He doesn't look like a Vintage Fest guy. And look at how good he can hear us. He just responded to me. And all this time I thought he couldn't hear us with those headphones on.
He's definitely like lurking in here.
Okay. He's going to have a hard time with this episode.
He is going to. But I thought, I don't like driving downtown, so this is perfect. He can go. And so he drove and did all the parking. And so we went to this festival. And first of all, I got to tell you, it was like in the smallest meeting room ever.
It was in a meeting room?
Like it may have been like the large floor. It wasn't where Finders Keepers normally is. It's on the main floor, but like not the full open. Like they had like temporary walls up. Like it was not a large area. Blasting some fucking Semi-Charmed Life.
Well, who doesn't love that?
And all of it was just fucking 90s clothes.
What?
It was.
That is not vintage.
A very humbling moment for me to walk in there while somebody named Skylar tried to charge me $55 for a co-ed naked t-shirt. Like there is so many things, like so many emotions that I like went through walking through this place.
Yeah.
Like these were just clothes from my parents' house.
Is it like when you hear the music we grew up with, like on the oldies station?
Yes. It was like that. Like watching Gen Z, who was basically, that's who all the sellers were. Like these were not like old people that like curate for
these
decades.
These were 20-somethings.
These were 20-somethings that like probably bought huge bins of t-shirts
from Goodwill.
Yes. And then reselling them.
That's a hot thing right now. Everyone's
is.
getting into vintage sales.
Yeah.
Like
all the
to
price
the point
tags
that they're
were on
driving up the
baseball
price of
cards.
shit like
So
crazy right
much.
now.
It was literally all cheap 90s shit. Like you
Yeah.
would
Like I
have
want
paid
to look at people and be like, "There's
$15
you
for it
guys.
in the 90s.
This is cheap shit. It's actually cheap shit.
Yes.
Like this shit. Like Fila, we made fun of that shit in the 90s.
Champion as well. Like Champion, you
Yes,
can get that
that's
at
what
like
I'm
Hills
saying.
or Kmart. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'll wear it. I had to wear it back then. But like that was the cheap brand of shit. So I'm really
so they're
confused
like selling Champion
why
like
you
it's cool.
are like seriously running up the price on this. Like it was mind blowing to me. Like
if you want to bring a members only jacket out here and talk to me about something you can charge for, you can charge for that.
yeah, I'm
It
like,
better
oh,
be like
yes,
fucking members only.
vintage.
Yeah, vintage. Like I want to see
But
like
what's not
some
vintage
old Tommy Hilfiger. Hell
Dude,
yeah.
is
Hell
the
yeah.
Eminem NASCAR jacket that somebody had in 1997,
Dude,
a
that
vintage
shit's hot
jacket.
right now. It's
I do
so
not
weird.
understand this.
It wasn't cool then. That's what I want to tell them. The shit that they think is cool
yes, it was
not
dorky.
cool then. It was dorky then. That was
Yes.
dorky. Now, if you had like, the yellow plaid from Clueless, a skirt like
Yes.
that, cool.
Cool.
That would be cool.
Do you remember those Looney Tune shirts where like the Looney Tunes were
Yes.
on the front looking
Yes.
at you, but then on the back, it was the back of the Looney
Guys,
Tunes
that's
guys?
shit we made fun of.
They're selling this for like $50.
It's crazy to me.
I don't even know
I-
how my brain.
I
like,
just saw it. When we were in
broke.
Toronto, there was this whole vintage like row of shops. And inside it was the same shit. And I was telling Lars and
Yes.
Kelsey, I was like, listen, this is shit we made fun of. This wasn't fashionable. This was like weird. Like this was like not good.
Like
I
you
don't know.
cannot lure me in here playing shoop to overcharge me for no fear stuff on the Lord's Day 2024.
Where's the skids? If you pull out a pair of skids like pants, I'm in. I'll pay $50 for those. It better be something fucking cool.
If there is a
Where's
vintage
the
seller
Reeboks
of
pumps?
just Delia's stuff, I will go to
Yes.
that place.
Where's the
There was
vintage
no-
seller of Reebok's pumps? Those were cool.
Yeah.
Get those out.
So there was almost no home stuff, guys. And I think it's because people of this age aren't curating vintage home stuff. And that's who every seller was. Like I wasn't looking at sellers who were over 40 in any way. They were all in their young 20s. Of course they didn't have home stuff. Of
I'm
course there
really
wasn't any
sad
cool home stuff.
that they're charging
was like-
$50.
I paid seriously $25 to get into this place. I mean,
What'd you leave with?
I got a V-neck golf sweater.
That's kind of cute.
Gigi got an old Girl Scout t-shirt out of a $5 bin.
That's cute.
And Wyatt got a Harley shirt, I guess. I don't know. Guys, it was just Jude got actual vintage Epcot shirt.
That's cute.
Like, I don't know.
You had to really dig.
It was just,
It's funny when how do I say this without pissing off a younger listener? Oh well, I don't care. Why start now? It's funny when a 20-something is trying to say what was cool in the 90s because
Yeah.
they weren't fucking there.
right.
Maybe they should
the same way
consult
that
with
they
their
have no
mom.
issue telling me my hair part's wrong or my jeans are stupid. Like, take that energy and apply it to the 90s, and that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, you're on
we
the
would
wrong
like
side
to
of
tell
this.
you that you're on the wrong fucking side of what was cool in the fucking 90s.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I do think is cool, and I want to be very clear about this, like, I'm not disappointed to find
Like, if
90s
you have a
clothes.
starter jacket,
I went
I'd
to wear
fucking
90s
buy that.
clothes all day. I'm disappointed that you are overcharging me for 90s clothes and then calling it vintage. That's what I'm pissed about.
Yeah.
I love the 90s. I would wear those clothes any day of the week. And in fact, what I was going to say is I'm excited right now that the fashion seems to be embracing all the old fucking fashions.
Yeah.
Like I can be like a boho 70s girl one time
Yeah.
and then rock neon 80s shit the next day.
Yeah.
And then do like some 90s grunge. Like I love all of that. And I love that for our kids. Like I'm excited about it, but I get mad when you like price gouge me
Yeah.
for stuff that's just like, ugh.
Guys, you know what I want you to find? Because it was very fucking cool in the 90s. Go find the vintage Abercrombie.
Yes.
You could actually charge people $50 for that shit.
Yeah.
But
'Cause-
don't try to charge $50 for a Looney Tunes shirt because nobody was
No.
wearing that shit. Only
No one.
dorks.
No one was wearing it.
Do you need to see our yearbooks?
Let me just show you what I was wearing. You should not be trying to resell those items. I'm just going to tell you. Okay.
Oh, I have ick about that.
I have a lot of ick. About it. All right. So let's talk about the ick. What is the ick? Technically, the ick is defined as a sudden repulsion towards a romantic partner.
Yes.
Okay. So you can like get the ick towards somebody when they do something and all of a sudden you can't unsee the thing.
Can't
it's
unsee
all you see. And like this is something that girls have been carrying for decades. Like we all know what the ick was. You never had to define it for us. We fucking know. I've only recently started talking to Andy about them. Like, oh my God, like I'll watch a girl get an ick. You know it. A girl can identify in real time when another girl gets the ick.
She's like, okay, I don't want to touch.
I can tell when somebody gets the ick with me. I can tell if I'm talking and they're like done with me. I can read it. Like I can tell.
I can read that room.
Yes.
Time to go.
So like girls know. And so like recently I've started explaining, he's like, that is not a thing. I'm like, it is absolutely.
It's absolutely a fucking thing. I have 27 examples of the thing.
How boys get the ick.
I don't think they do. I think they're just like too bonery for it. And then they just are like, oh, whatever. I'd still hit it.
So somebody on TikTok, her name is Harley, Detroit teacher, keeps a running list of icks with her friends that they all always add to. And I want to read you some of
right,
their
I'm
icks.
ready. I'm ready.
Okay. When he rides on the back of a jet ski.
That is so icky.
Someone throwing him a football and dropping it. Watching him swat a bug. When he sleeps butt naked.
Oh, what is that?
When he tries to put his socks on while standing up and he falls over while doing it. When they use weird emojis too much. When he's a picky eater. Anytime he's wearing goggles. When his hair sticks out the front of his hat. Him bowling. Him walking angrily in flip-flops. Running upstairs on all fours.
Okay, that's icky.
When his fly is down.
Yeah.
When he tries to play air guitar. When I can see his nipples through his t-shirt.
Ew.
When I watch him try and work TikTok.
Yeah.
And when I watch him try to pick up candy after hitting a piñata.
Oh, that's weird.
And then once I watched him chase a $20 bill in a parking lot. I've never been so turned off. So like as I was reading this list, I thought, first of all, oh my God, I'm starting this with my friends. Two, like any of these things could give me the ick.
Yeah.
Like, and it's unexplainable. It's just this thing that like happens.
Yeah.
So before we talk about like coming back from ick, do you have icks offhand?
100. Just, I have so many. Do you want to hear some?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like it when my husband drinks more than 3 Manhattans. Because his voice changes and his tongue sounds thick and he starts talking like a drunk guy. And it's such a fucking turnoff. I just like, we talked about it on the Ozempic episode. I can't really drink as much anymore. So now I've suddenly become like the designated driver of our life. And like, it's so like, I don't want to deal with you when you're drunk and I'm fucking sober. I just don't. I don't like it when he's on top and he stares at me when we're having sex. I close my eyes for like 99% of the time when we're having sex, especially if he's on top, because it just looks so weird when he's like breathing and he's like, and like I can see it all. So I like have to close my eyes and like block that part out. In fact, I hate that position so much that I prefer to be on top just because I think it's hotter. He looks better when I'm on top of him. And then also like, I don't like it when he wears socks and tennis shoes. I just fucking hate that. And he went through a golf shirt phase. Thank God that's over. That was really icky. Like all he wore was like golf shirts 100% of the time. He used to be in a bowling league. I hated it. That was icky. I didn't even know when we got married that he was into fucking Magic the Gathering. I had no idea. He concealed this whole part of his personality from me. And then the second we got married, I'm not even kidding you. Like the very next month, he was like, my friends and I are going to this thing called Gen Con, and all we're doing is playing Magic the Gathering. And then all of a sudden he started spending all of his money on Magic cards. And I was like, I didn't even know this existed. He was like, I hid it from you until we were married because I knew you would think it was weird. I do think it's weird. There's like a lot of fucking icky things. But the really amazing part is that like, I think it's true love when you can see that ick and like, you're just icked out like for maybe a day or an hour. And then you can come back from that and still like him the next day. So that's how I know it's true love.
Okay.
What are yours?
So my icks are, I really hate bad breath. So I don't want to kiss in the morning.
Mm-mm.
I don't want to talk face to face
Not
in the
at
morning.
all.
Not even with my kids.
I don't want your
my
breath
kids
on
give me
me.
the ick about it. I don't want to make my breath bad to you. I don't like bad breath. So that's a big one for me. When we first started dating, he mispronounced a word, and it's bugged me to this day.
What is it?
The word nachos. He did it with a hard A. And to this day.
Like nachos?
Yep.
Does he say it still like that?
Sometimes. I really hate it. I really hate it.
Okay.
I also get the ick from socks.
Okay.
He never goes barefoot. I love flip flops on a dude. Oh my God. It's so
Oh,
hot.
I hate them. I don't want to see your fucking man toes.
I want to see. I think it's because when he takes up his socks, he wears socks all the time. He gets up and puts socks on, and he has preserved porcelain doll feet. And I just want them to be, I just want some texture, just a little bit of texture on them. I think if he gets into a tub, he would slip immediately because his feet are so preserved and
my
and
ick
smooth.
is like crew socks with tennis shoes. Wear some ankle socks with tennis shoes. That's if you're wearing shorts. That's how I prefer it.
I mean, I don't want to see the sock.
I don't want to see the socks. Socks aren't cool. I don't care what Gen Z says. Socks are not fucking cool.
I agree.
Okay.
He used to do this thing where he wore undershirts, but instead of just buying a tank top, he insisted on cutting the sleeves off of t-shirts.
Oh, I know. Guys do this.
I hate it.
Strange.
He doesn't do it anymore, which is really great.
Thank God.
Also, he'll eat when he's talking to me on the phone during the day.
Ugh. So then you
he'll,
can hear the
call
mouth
me,
noises?
but chewing like a cow cud.
Yeah. My son Logan
Oh my God, I
chews
can't.
so loud. It grosses me the fuck out whenever I eat with my son Logan. It's major ick. I'm like, you got to stop eating like that.
Yeah. And then the other thing that he does is whenever we're in a public setting and we're leaving that setting, he always says see ya in this really weird way.
What does he say?
See ya. He's over
He's
there.
in the room. He can hear us.
He has headphones on.
This is so
I don't know if he can
awkward.
hear us or not.
My face is so red and embarrassed because I laughed too hard at it and he shot me a dirty look.
Hey, babe.
We're just kidding.
Andy. He's going to pretend like he can't hear us.
He
but
can
definitely
fucking hear us. He shot me a look. I saw
Andy.
it.
Hey, can you come here real quick?
He doesn't want to be on our podcast.
What do I do? Can you name one thing that I do that gives you the ick?
Yeah, we need it for the show.
Yeah, just one
Yeah,
thing.
One thing. He goes, you need it for the show. So he's icked out that she's requiring him to eat in silence somehow.
Yeah, it's true. He'll sit down and I'll just glare at him. And he's like, well, I guess I'll go eat outside. And then he just goes out.
He's pissed that she serves him tortilla chips and then wants it to be quiet.
But the weird part is it's only him. The kids don't gross me out with their chewing. It's just him. I just
I
think
have a
maybe
kid that
because I
grosses me
made
out.
them.
Yeah.
So I can tolerate it more. But his is foreign sounding to me. My
Yeah.
body doesn't recognize it.
Yeah.
So it's no.
Okay, I have
No.
another ick I'd like to add, and then you can continue with yours.
No.
It just occurred to me. I get really icked out when something's physically wrong with him. I know I married him for better or for worse, but he just broke his elbow, and my God, it is just so. I'm sure it is very painful to break your elbow, but do you know how incapable he is around the house right now? Ugh.
Hit the thing.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, what else you got?
Me of
Okay,
another
all
one.
right, what you got?
I also hate when he's sick because
Yes.
I think your parents mold how you're sick, right?
Yeah.
So when you get married, they carry over their things.
Yes.
So he's got weird things about the medicine he takes or whatever. He's a big Dayquil guy. I think it's such a scam. But the thing that I hate the most is that he throws up into a bowl. And I seriously cannot even be celibacy.
Yeah.
Straight celibacy after that. If you hand me a soup of
Yeah.
your vomit,
Yeah.
you can't put your dick in me.
Sean does this thing where he comes up to me and he wants to grab my boobs, and which is icky enough on its own. But he does this weird thing, you guys. If you're on YouTube right now, you can see it. Head over to YouTube if you're not. He pushes down
Yes, I'd love them to be longer.
I'm telling him constantly. I'm like, you gotta lift them up. There's no world.
Do what he does. I'm sorry.
Okay,
what does he do?
He'll come over to me and he'll be like, ooh. And I'm like, no, it's ooh. It's never ooh. It's always ooh. Like, what are we doing? Stop pushing my tits down. It's so icky. Ugh. Every time he does it, I'm like, is this your first time touching a tit? Fuck.
Okay.
I hate it.
All right. Whew.
I just hate it.
I feel like we all have icks, and the guys actually have no icks.
They have no
Like, their
icks because they're
just
so
our
horny.
icks with them.
Yeah.
Like, so your
They're
ick is how I get disgusted by you.
You're mad that I'm mad at you? Got it. Got it.
That's the only
That's
thing.
it. No,
Low bar.
I definitely know all of my icks with Sean. Like, he does not like the way I drive. That's a big fighty turnoff for him.
Yes. Oh my God. One of my biggest icks with Andy, like, I don't know why it pisses me off the most, but like whenever he backs into a spot, so he's always got to have a fucking monster in his hand. And so he's like,
he moves the monster around.
just put the drink down. Like, do you think you're impressing me with backing up into this tiny spot? We aren't courting. This isn't courting me. Like, I am so irritated with it. Like, he has to back into a spot holding like this one. He can't just put it down. He's always like,
You know what Sean does?
oh, I hate it.
Sean parks in the furthest parking spots in every parking lot.
So his car doesn't get dinged.
Yeah. We don't even have nice cars. I drive a fucking Mazda, you guys, and he's parking in the back of the fucking parking lot. I'm so sick of it. I'm so fucking sick of it. We have a Nissan, a Mazda. Like, why are we parking in the last fucking spot? This is not a fucking Land Rover. Fuck.
Oh my God. These men should be so afraid. Like, they are just one ick away from alimony. Like, one ick.
Well, I'm telling you what, I went and saw our friend Seneca a couple times about getting a divorce, and it was just so expensive to get rid of him that I've decided I have to deal with the
No
icks.
joke. It is incredibly
I'm
expensive.
going to have to pay the alimony if it happens, so I'm going to keep him. I'm going to keep him. Cheaper to keep him.
Cheaper to keep them?
Yep. Cheaper to keep him.
Okay. Can you come back from the ick?
Yes. Do you want to know how? You have to do some very hot guy shit to come back from it.
I have a specific way that works for me. How does it work for you?
The way it specifically works for me is he looks good. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, you're hot. Okay, yeah, I want to fuck you. Like, and then he smells good.
Yeah.
And he looks good. And he's doing like very, like, you know, as much as I hate men, I like it when they do very masculine shit. So like if he smells good and he looks good and he's like, you know, I'm going to take you on a date, and he grabs the check, even though it's coming from the same fucking account, right? Like, he's doing all the manly things. Then I'm like, okay, yeah, let's fuck for sure. I like to be taken care of. I like to be the passenger princess of our life.
Yes. 100%.
That shit turns me on. When shit's just fucking handled for me and he's looking good while he's handling it, you can rub my titties down all day long. Give me some acts of service and a good looking man.
I do love me some acts of service.
I do love some acts of service.
Some masculine acts
masculine
of service.
shit.
I don't want to see this weak guy shit.
You put gas in my car.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do that. Men's work. When you're doing the men's work. When you took that fucking garbage out.
Yep.
Yeah. When you fucking, mow the grass. Yeah. All that.
Yeah. Okay. Mine is.
All right.
It's terrible. Like, I know I'm a terrible person. I'm just going to tell you.
Okay.
Nothing gets me out of the ick quicker than making me jealous.
Oh, yes. That's a good one.
Take my food away. And then I want the food. Okay. Yes. Nothing pulls me out of ick quicker. Seeing another girl.
Look at him.
And then I'm like,
yeah.
No.
I think that's why the hot guy
I hate him, but he's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's, don't you even.
Like, seriously, nothing pulls me out quicker.
Don't talk to him.
Yeah.
We don't need it.
Like, sometimes I almost want to send him into, if I have the ick real bad.
Yeah.
I want to take him out.
And let other girls look at
other
him.
girls play with the worm.
Yeah.
And then I'll watch it.
Okay.
And then I'll swoop in and grab it.
That's very true.
So I know that makes me terrible.
Yeah. I do need the healthy dose of jealousy, because then I'm like, no, he's mine.
Yeah.
He's mine.
Yeah.
Don't even look at him. He's perfect and he's mine.
like my mom told me once, she was like, you know, whenever I would think about getting a divorce, I always thought, would I be able to put my kids in some other woman's car? And I'm like, nope.
That's a good
Yeah.
point, mother.
Yeah. And so I was always
My mom
like,
said something very similar
and
to
I was
me
always
one
like,
time.
that's right.
She said, honey, do you think you're the only one that would want to do it with him? And sometimes I think yes, but then most of the time I'm like, you're right, mother. A lot of girls
Well,
would
have you seen his sock, Charlotte?
Did you hear about his dick? It's huge. I'm sure a lot of people would want to touch it. So anyway.
So yeah, I do get the ick. I get it a lot. God help him. He's so lovely. I don't deserve
literally
him.
like the perfect guy.
He's over here.
He's just
been
so nice.
helping us.
You
like,
have no idea. We had to set this whole studio up and like it took an hour and he did everything.
he did everything. He's so great.
He's so good.
He'll still give me the ick tonight over something. He'll
Yeah.
still do something
So
tonight
even
that'll
though he
piss
did
me
all
off.
that, do you think you're going to go to bed tonight and be hot and horny for him?
Well, if he takes
He
off
gave
that
a
matching
lot of
sweatshirt.
acts of service today.
He did.
I think he deserves a blowy.
We'll see. I also come out of the ick with bickering, like nothing, because I think it's a very masculine like you. I think I want to see that sort of like, I want him to be manly and come back at me
Yeah,
with
come
something
back
because
at me a
he's
little
just
bit.
so agreeable.
Actually, when he does push back on me and I feel like our relationship is now a threat because
Yeah.
I'm mad at him and he's mad back at me, I want to fix it as soon as possible. If I'm the only one
It's
mad,
so awful.
I can stay in madness forever. If
Oh,
he's
yeah.
floating around happy in the world, I'll be fucking pissed. But the second that he turns that anger back on me, I'm like, oh, we gotta fix our shit. We gotta get
Listen,
together.
let's not fight.
Why are you yelling at me? I've been yelling at you for 4 fucking
I'll
days.
be mad at you
But
for
why
a
are
week.
you now yelling at me?
But the second you get involved,
Don't even.
one turns me on.
It does.
Two, let's
What is it?
fix this situation.
Let's fix it now.
I know. It's just the masculine thing. I don't know if they're pheromone changes or whatever they give off changes.
So Sean
But,
and I
like-
work together. So sometimes like we'll start fighting about work shit and stuff. I know you guys have seen it in front of the employees. Even sometimes we'll fight about work stuff. And then I'm like, we got to make this right immediately. Like I try to like get them back to a happy place. So maybe that's the trick. Just yell back at me and I'll try to make you happy as quickly as possible.
I love it. I actually want to hear everybody's ick list because I'm
I
going to
do
start one in our
too.
group text because I want to. I want to hear it. It's always the most random shit.
With us and our other
But
three
it's
friends.
the final straw. Yes, that like it's that weird straw you all carry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's
When he says
interesting.
"see ya" to people when we're leaving a group, I'm like,
What
my
does
whole
it-
body. just
See
goes,
ya.
See ya.
See.
I'm like,
I know.
you've heard it.
I love it.
You've heard it.
It's a signature. I don't want him to stop. I
I'm always
like it. I like
Ugh.
it. He says it on the phone to me sometimes, even. I love
Okay.
it.
Let's play a quick
Okay.
game of keep it or condo it,
Okay.
where I ask you 3 things and you're going to tell me if you're going to keep them because you love it or Marie Kondo it out because it does not bring you joy.
Okay.
Okay. 1, mocktails.
Keep it.
Keep it.
I enjoy a mocktail.
I'm going to condo it, but not because I don't enjoy them, because I'm tired of being so heavily charged
They are just juice.
for the juice.
And the problem is my kids have discovered mocktails.
oh, the worst.
And I tell them, you can have one and then water. Don't even order a Pepsi or something
Okay, listen.
afterwards because it's $8.
when you were a kid and you went to Chi-Chi's with your family and you got a virgin daiquiri, that was not anywhere near a mocktail price. They'd be like,
No.
yeah, it's like $4. Just
Yeah.
give me $4. Obviously, I'm just going to put this blended drink
Yeah.
in this thing. Now,
They charge you like a cocktail.
Yeah.
With no booze.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So that's why I want a condo. I love the mocktail. I love the rise of the mocktail. I
Yeah.
don't love the price of the mocktail.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Next up.
Okay.
Getting a little close to you. So we're going to see your reaction to this. Birthday week. People who declare a whole week their birthday week.
Keep it.
Agree. I agree.
Why can't we be happy and celebrate another trip around the sun?
I don't disagree. I think birthdays are like Mardi Gras.
I think so too. In fact, I think everyone should take their birthday off of work that day.
Yes, I agree.
You should just start day drinking and doing magic mushrooms first thing in the morning if you
Yep.
want to.
I move we get rid of Columbus Day and just have people celebrate individual birthdays.
Birthday day.
Yeah. Like you don't take Columbus Day off, but whenever your birthday is that day, you get off.
You get it off, and then we go to work
Sometimes
on Columbus
it's a weekend, but most of the time it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 100%.
I like it. Okay. Final thing.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it or conduit. Tiny homes.
Keep it.
Okay.
Now, I don't think I could do it,
No.
but I do think like it's good for the planet. It's a smaller footprint. Everything doesn't need to be a McMansion. It's super affordable. And a lot of times they're movable and you can put them on another piece of property. Like you can just go. So it makes you more of a nomad, I guess. But yeah.
I don't mind the tiny homes. Here's something I hate.
Okay. The personality that comes with a tiny home, it becomes your entire personality.
Well, there's that.
Okay.
I don't like the van life people.
Why?
Here's why. I don't think that we as a country should be glorifying the fact that there are whole groups of people who can only afford to live in a van and travel around.
Yes.
Because that's not okay.
Yeah, maybe I feel that way.
People should be able to afford a starter home or a livable home situation.
Now you're making me revalue this.
That's what I hate. They're like, I'm living in a van or a schoolie and this is this and it's so affordable. And yes, it is. But it shouldn't be all you should afford. Like you should have an option. This should be an option, not an only option.
Yes.
So I really hate that like we're raising people who are living in vans and showering in Planet Fitnesses.
I know.
That's like
I
fucking
watch
weird.
it.
There's a girl who lives in her Honda. And I'm like, girl, that's just living in a car.
That's living in a car.
That's not like a social media niche.
No.
That's
You're homeless.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's not okay that like we're glorifying that. Not because I don't want her to not do it. I don't like that we're okaying the fact that that's all she can afford. She should be making more fucking money.
Yeah. 100%.
100%.
I do want to live on a sailboat though sometime.
But by choice.
By choice.
Yeah, like I
don't know how to sail a sailboat, but
like
I follow a sailboat couple and it looks very cool.
100%.
I think I could live on a sailboat.
There are people who like sell everything and travel in an RV. Those RVs are like fucking concert tour bus RVs. That's a different situation. Those are more expensive than my house.
Okay, so can we talk about the RV people real quick?
Sure.
Okay. I've got a lot of friends right now who are selling all their shit to live in RVs with kids even and stuff, which I think is fantastic. Whatever you want to do, homeschool your kids or whatever. But like, here's my hard part that I would personally have with it.
Okay.
I don't think I could be a campground person.
No. I don't want people that close to
like
me.
Living so close together on campgrounds.
I don't want it.
I feel like it's a culture almost inside of the campground.
It is.
There's a lot of people
very
doing
specific
it.
type of people.
Yes.
I am not that type of people.
I am just not that outdoorsy. Like I can't do it.
If I want to sit outside by a fire, I want it to be a private act and not one where I have to like entertain anybody else's children because there's kids everywhere. I don't want to have to like invite the neighbor over. I just want to like.
I also want to know if you have sex if the RV rocks and then the kids in the other side of the RV can feel mom and dad are fucking.
Oh my God.
If this RV's rocking, don't come a knocking.
I don't know.
Can someone that lives in an RV tell us? Please.
Yeah, I want to know, how do you have sex?
Kirsten Smith, if you're listening to this, we need to know how you have sex. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, I'm just curious about that. I don't know.
I don't know either.
A lot of questions.
All right.
But those things are expensive.
They are.
Like hugely expensive. That is
more
not
than
the
a
same
house
thing
sometimes.
as this.
They're not the same. But yeah. I see what you're saying though. If we are glorifying that they can only afford to live in a van, that's terrible.
It's terrible. Like I love tiny homes. I love people who come in and are building tiny homes for the unhoused population. 100%. Like I fucking love that. Like we should be doing that. We should be offering alternate housing options to people at all price points. But like I get really irritated when I'm watching a 20-year-old girl live alone.
That seems
inside
scary.
of a car, and she's showing me every night how she blocks her windows and puts this bed down in this seat and then showers at a gym, and this is where she likes to eat, and it's so deeply unsafe. And also I hate that for her.
Yeah,
I hate it for her. I just want her to have a safe home. Everybody should have a home, and I just think that should be affordable for everybody. But I love me some fucking tiny home shit.
I do like that tiny home.
I also couldn't do it. I don't like when things are close
I feel
to me.
like I always tell my mom I think that my mom could have a tiny home on our property somewhere.
Yes.
Because
sell
I feel
those.
I feel like my dad I think my mom's gonna outlive my dad because women usually do, right?
Yep.
So I'm always like preparing my husband for this. I'm like, I'm going to take my mom in one day. And he's always like, no, you're not. And then I'm like, yes, I am. Charlotte is coming to live with me because she's my favorite person and I want her to. And I will make a spot for her, even if it's a tiny home in the backyard. I will make her the nicest tiny home.
Yes.
And she will have her own everything. And it will just be her, one person, in the safety of our yard. And then I can see her whenever I want, all the time.
100%. They sell those like little like
Yeah,
in-law,
like
mother-in-law tiny homes.
Yeah.
I think it's like, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think I want to bring back multi-generational living.
Me too.
Huge fan.
Me too.
We bought the house next to my parents. Like we wanted to build like a whole commune of
family.
Like, family to get around easy with golf carts and whatever else. So like, I love that.
Yeah.
Huge fan.
Huge fan.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out.
Hey, if you could head over to Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
And
And leave us a 5-star review because that helps us chart. We could use it. Thanks,
Yeah.
friends.